Howdy folks, welcome back to Phenomenal Arc. Thank you for joining me again after my very, very awkward and chatty video in the previous one, but it's a new day, new flight. We're going to move forward and stick to our regular format here, I think. Hopefully that'll be a little bit smoother. So today I want to try something unique, and we are flying in a little tiny country called Eswatini, which is within South Africa, the country of South Africa, of course. Kind of to the northeastern-ish area. Now, if you look at the description below with the actual location, we are unable to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to start at Longano or something, Foxtrot Delta November Hotel, and then fly to our destination, which was planned, which is King Mswati III. So in other words, I wanted to be entirely within Eswatini, in the mountains, to the lowlands. They have different names for those areas. But those mountain airports, none of them are in the sim. And I'm very disappointed because I wanted to start in the mountains and then fly to the lowlands. But we can't do it. So instead, we're in South Africa, kind of right on the southern border of Eswatini. So we're still going to be flying across Eswatini. We're at Pongola, which is Foxtrot Alpha, Papa Lima. And we're not in the mountains. We're going to be alongside the mountains. So I think what I might do is kind of veer left to get some mountain flying in, and then veer back to the right to get to our actual original destination. I'm bummed, if you can tell, because I wanted to take off in the mountains, at the top of the mountains. There's supposed to be a little airport. There's supposed to be a couple of them. And then we would just fly off there, fly off the mountain, but that's not going to work that way. So we do see the mountains behind us. I do have real world weather turned on. It should be favorable for us. But had to make some last minute adjustments as it loaded the sim. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Our only plan for flight plan is to put the destination in the GPS. We're in the Twin Otter, by the way. We're going to put the destination in the GPS, and then we're going to fly around a little bit, just kind of via far into some mountains, and then we'll go back on track with the GPS. And then I plan on loading a flight approach, if possible. If there's one in the flight data, I want to do an instrument approach based on what's in the flight data. If there isn't, we'll just go via far. Or visual, I mean. If there is one, we will use instrument approach. And then I have SkyVector pulled up so that I can jump out of the sim and put in like our fixes, because I don't know anything about this area. But anyway, I know this is not an appropriate livery for where we are in the world. But I only have like 6 to choose from. And this is what I chose. So without further ado, let's get going. Try to keep this significantly less chatty than the previous video. I'm going to be apologizing about that one for a while, aren't I? All right, make sure the parking brake is set. Last time it wasn't, and we rolled away. Parking brake set. Check the fuel and the payload. So we pull this up, then we go to weight and balance. Move that over. It is so nice having a 1440p monitor. I can actually see all this at once. I think we have to load the luggage. No, yeah, let's load the luggage first. Then we'll load some people. Like so. Spread them out. Not many people on this flight. Fuel. We don't need much. We'll just keep it the way it is. Let's hide these things like so. Check or remove the control lever. Isaiah, where was that click spot? There it is. Battery switch. Battery. Move over to battery. We're on external. Now we're on battery. DC master. On. There we go. Remove the GPU. Right there. Position, anti-collision, and strobe lights are next. Position, anti-collision, and strobe. There we go. Emergency lights, arm. Oh yeah, up to go down in this one. When do we close the doors? Okay, that's later. Okay. Turn the GPS on. It already is. Turn the other radios on, just like so. Simple enough. Turn to put it on standby, I guess. Nav date out of date. Really? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Huh? It just went out. I have a subscription now. If you missed that episode, that video, I have a subscription now, and it expired like, or not the subscription. The previous month's data expired like 2 days ago, and I didn't run navgraph before I started the sim. But we're not out of date. Well, yes, we are. But I just have to update. My subscription's not out of date. I just didn't load the new stuff in the sim, so I'll do that right after I'm done with this video. Radio, yeah. Flight plan. Like I said, we're just going to put in. And this doesn't do scroll wheel. This we're just gonna put in the destination. So what do we got? What do we have? We have. I had to change it. So my new notes. Looking at my new notes, it's Papa. Whoopsie. Papa Alpha? Yes. Papa Foxtrot Alpha. Papa Lima, I think. Yeah. Which I can't remember what it's called. Pongola something. Look in the notes below for the exact name of the airport and its location. There we go. Pongola, South Africa. Because we're right on the border of Eswatini and South Africa. All right, so let me just see something here. Let me do procedure. Do we have an approach option? Nope. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna do a visual. Bummer. I didn't think we'd be lucky. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to flight plan. What? I don't know why it does that. Let's clear that waypoint. Yep. Yeah. And let's go. Dino says direct, but let's go direct anyway. Although we're actually going to be redoing that because we're going to. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. There we go. We are going to. Did I really do? That's why. Oh, good grief. I am discombobulated. I have no reason to be. No excuses. I totally put on the wrong thing. Let's go like this. No. I'm used to the scroll wheel. Outside, thank you. Now let's do our destination, which is Foxtrot Delta Sierra Kilo. See, when I used to do a flight almost every day, I was right on top of it. But now that I'm doing flights, no, maybe a couple days or weeks, I'm not so smooth, am I? Let's see if this has an approach. Yes, it does. Good. So when we get up in the air, we'll see what the wind is, and I'll pull up Sky Vector on my phone or my other monitor and see which one we want to do. What's VDM? I shouldn't ask that question. We'll probably do the ILS just because we can, but we'll worry about it when we get there. Okay. For right now, though, let's go direct here and come back. Super short flight. Right, we're going to spend more time getting this plane started than we are flying. Well, we're going to do a little detour, so it'll be a little bit longer. Alrighty, CDI to GPS. Tune radios, don't need to. We'll use ILS approach, though. Test, nope. Weather, barometer. Whoa. Good grief, what was that? Here we go. What is our weather like here? 3012, so wind... 70 at 6. So take off a 0. We want a runway that's closest to the number 7. I guess that's going to be 16. Which will be on the other side of where we are. Okay. 3012 was the barometer. Where is it? 30. Zoom in. 3012. Oops. Wrong preset. All right, test the caution lights. Here they are. Test. Down to go up. Caution lights. Boom, they all work. Don't have any bulbs replaced. Let's do bright because it's daytime so we can see it. Close the doors, which means... Actually, let's hop outside because it's more fun. We just have to move this out of the way. Going to close the front and back baggage doors. Then we're going to come in here. We're going to close these doors. And I turned on some of these lights. Because I can, see? Whoa. Let's use this preset. See, turn on the lights. That's awesome. Come up here. Co-pilot doors closed. Pilot doors now closed. All right, let's get this thing started up. Fuel boost. I have to come down here. Fuel boost. On. Fuel levers forward. Do I have a preset for that? I do. Fuel levers, throttles. I did the wrong one. Quarter. Both engine igniters. They're already on for some reason in the sim. Flick left to start engine. And do we have anything? Come down here. Let's check. Yep. Spinning around. Prop RPM should come up. Let that settle in place. We can also look out the window. See that it's spinning like crazy. See it right there. Boom, 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 boom. Looking good. Settled in. Come back up here. Do the right side. Come back down. Watch it all spin around and get set up. We can also look out this window and see. Go spin, spin, spin. See it. Let's spin around really fast. These are gauges, of course. But we have prop rotation is what I'm trying to say. All right. Flick engine, repeat. We already did that. Generators off, then reset. Generator off, or reset, and then on. There we go. Off, reset, on. Engine igniters can come off now. Air bleed on. Like that. Temp climate control. Let's warm it up a little bit. De-icer, sure, why not? Auto everything. Let's do this. Because we can't, I don't know anything about it yet. Pitot heat. There we go. Make sure all warnings and cautions are out. They are. Excellent. Taxi lights. Let's turn our entrance lights off now. Normally we do at the end of the runway, but we'll do it right now. Taxi lights on, props forward as far as needed. That's very specific, isn't it? All right, next page. Taxi to the end of the runway. So here we go. It's rolling on us already. We want the opposite runway from where we are because of the wind. So we'll just ride along through the hangar. And here we go. All right, anything interesting about this airport other than it looks gorgeous? It's early in the morning, by the way. I set the sim to like 6:30 or something. So here we go. Nice narrow taxiway for us to navigate. Really tight brakes for some reason. They must be a little bit wet. There you go. Made the turn with ease, I guess. Looks like there's an old tiny runway that is now a taxiway. That'll help things a little bit. Oh my gosh, the wind is blowing us to the right like crazy. Because you know how some of these models with the wind, if wind is higher than 0, it acts like it's a hurricane. I swear. I've got so much left rudder trying to get this to go straight because it's getting blown to the right. I only have one prop thing on my yoke, so that's not out of sync or anything. Good grief. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to taxi down this thing. I don't even see the runway. This is a runway. That's not what it looked like in the map. Oh yeah, it is. It's going to take me a few videos to get back into the swing of things, folks. I apologize, but that's just the way it is. Alright. We want to take off runway 6. So we're going to back taxi, I guess. And I'll see you at the other side. Man, this is a crazy taxi. Even though I'm going so slowly, there's a little bit of wind. It's just driving me all over the place here. I'm having a really hard time staying straight. Having a hard time getting in the middle. They're just nuts. Alright, so let's see. Do you think we can turn around and stay? I'm barely tapping the brakes, and look at this. And stay. Oh, too slow. Let's see if we can turn around and stay on the runway, but a little too slowly there. Come on, come back. Oh, we can do it. Nice. Alright. Alrighty, and let's straighten out. Short runway, so we're going to run this thing with the brake on. Alright, here we go. Hop inside before we take off. Flaps to 10. There we go. Light interior lights off when we did. Taxi lights off, landing lights on. Come on. Landing lights on, taxi lights off. Start the clock. Which is it? I can't see from this far away. It's set, start, stop. This one? Yes, there it is. Alrighty. Props forward. Takeoff speed 65 to 70. Step on the brakes to stop the wheels when you're in the air. Alright, so here we go. We're going to hold the brakes a second, although don't think we need much room at all, but here we go. We should be able to pop off pretty quickly. Whoa, yeah, that wind is really, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, almost full right rudder just to get straight here. And there's 60, let's pop off. Get off this runway. There we go. That wind is crazy. Whoa. Wow. Alright, step on the brakes to stop the wheels. There are no retractable gear, flaps up. Alright, so we want to go over the mountains before we head to our destination. So if we're heading at 160, do we have enough altitude we can go to the right without hitting these mountains? Yeah, we'll just go through that little area there. Alrighty, after takeoff, let's see. Flaps up, stop the wheels from spinning. Use IS hold for climb. We're not going to use autopilot quite yet. We will eventually, though. Let's check our GPS super fast. Let's zoom this out a little bit. We will turn around in a moment, but not quite yet. We're going to sightsee the mountains first. So here we go. We are going to keep everything pedal to the metal because engines will not start on fire in this aircraft. I'm going to take a screenshot, but we're not actually quite in Eswatini yet. Very beautiful. Alright, let's get some sightseeing in here in a minute, and then we'll have a much more silent video than the last one. Let's just head towards the mountains. At least head west. Actually, no, let's head northwest. Keep our climb going. We just went through west. Let's go about here. There we go. We can get to the mountainous areas. Alright, so because I want to sightsee, I am going to set up autopilot. Wow, this wind is crazy. This airplane, for some reason, whenever there's a little bit of wind, it just blows me all over the place. Let's get our heading bug set here. Can't push that one, I guess. Got to keep spinning it. Let's go like this. Actually, go a little to the left. And let's do IS hold. Actually, that's a little too fast for IS hold. Let's do... let's see. Let's do heading bug. Oh, it does engage automatically. Whoa, I was going to set it up before I engaged. Okay. But now it's going to screw us up because I don't want to come down. I'm going to do IS hold. Let's turn this off a second. There we go. That was better. All right. Let's see. Let's undo that. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. I want to do IS hold about... Oh my gosh, what is it? I don't have an optimum climb speed. All right, let's do 110. Good. IS hold. Bam. Engage. There, it's going to bob up and down a little bit. Now let's do heading hold because the wind is just sending us all over the place. Look at that. Oh, that was not smooth at all. There we go. Let's let the computer do the work. Both for climb and heading. Nice. Huh, usually it bobs back and forth trying to find it, but it settled in nicely. Well, that was a smooth handoff. This wasn't smooth at all, but that's because the wind already had me by then. Do we want to put in a cruise altitude? Yeah, let's do 9,000 feet. I don't know what the mountains are, but let's do 9,000. We'll do alt alert. If we do alt, it'll do our current alt. Alt alert will stop us there. They kind of work together. All right, there's a super brief autopilot tutorial for you. All right, so we're just going to fly out a little bit towards the mountains, and we'll redo our direct, and then we'll head towards our actual destination. So are we in Eswatini yet? Yes, by now we would be. Let me check. Yes. Oh, yes. We definitely crossed the country border. So we are flying across the most of Eswatini in this video. So now I can take my screenshot now that we're actually over the country border. And you know I have quite a few viewers from Africa. So if you're from this area, let me know. That'd be awesome to know. But we're just going to fly this way a little bit. And then we will veer to the right and go to our destination. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of sightseeing, and then I'll cut back in the voiceover on how we transition to where we're actually supposed to go, and then more sightseeing. And that is not smoke. That's just the moisture coming off the wings because of the clouds. Should I raise the clouds for better sightseeing? Well, I kind of want to do a real-life weather flight. It's been a while. So I'm going to keep the clouds on. Otherwise, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in a couple seconds. Minutes? Seconds. All right, we're leveling off at our 9,000 foot altitude that we chose, and I wanted to point out that right exactly where we are now is where there's supposed to be another airport. So see this road below us? This is where my original airport was supposed to be. The non-Longano or Longano, however it's pronounced. This is where it was supposed to be. So this is where I wanted to take off from, but we couldn't. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. That was my plan. See the mountains? We would have taken off in these mountains and then flown out. Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous, gorgeous view though. Not going to complain about that. Take some screenshots while we're here. Well guys, let's do what I intended on doing, which was coming over here, thank you very much, and doing a redirect to there. Boom. And now we can do GPS on here, and it should turn us sharply to the right, and it will. And now we'll let the computer take us. So now we got to decide on what we're going to do, because this 20 minutes is going to go very, very quickly, down to like 12. So we need to decide what approach we want to do, so we can set that up. Let me see here, getting reorganized. So what approaches do we have available? We do procedure, select approach, enter, I guess. ILS 20 or 2? What does the weather say? If we can get the weather yet. Yes, I think we can, right? Isn't this where we're going? I think that's where we're going. Yeah. Let's see. What is it? Wind at 70, take off the 0 is 7. The closest runway to 7 is 2, right? 2 to 7 is only 5. So runway 2, which is 20 degrees, which means pretty much northish, right? Because this is 5, 10, 15, 20, so up, which is perfect. It's going to be like flying straight in. So we want runway 2, except we don't have an ILS for 2, just 20. So let's try this VDM. I don't know what this is VDM. We're going to learn together, I guess. So let's choose that. And we want to pick a fix. So let me pull this up in SkyVector and see which fix is going to be closer to what we want from where we're coming from. Okay, it looks like TTAC will be perfect because it will, it was a very long straight-in approach. So let's do that one, and let's load it. And let's look at the flight plan, and it should be in there. Awesome, this is going to work. There's no stupid hold before it. Everything is in there because my nav data is up to date other than like 2 days old. But there we go. So we're just going to do this. The computer should take us all the way in. I don't know if it's going to do vertical navigation. I don't expect it to, but sometimes it does. So it says TTAC is actually over there. We want to... Maybe I didn't activate it. Did I not activate it? What? Hang on. Let's try this again. Maybe I hit the wrong thing. I wasn't paying attention. This... Oh yeah, I want to activate it. Whoopsie. Activate. There we go. That's better. We've activated the approach now. There we go. We're going to go out here. Then it's a long straight in. Very long straight in approach. But see, it's going to be down to 12 minutes. Boom. So what's our vertical nav going to be? I don't know what we want because I don't have a plate. So let's say, I don't know what altitude is going to be. What is it in SkyVector? 1,092 feet. So let's do, whoops, jeez, I'm so out of practice. Let's do 1,800. That way if I screw up, I'm high enough, I'm not going to hit anything. Whoops, jeez, I'm used to the scroll wheel. 1,800, that means at the airport. Let's just do, not after it. Let's just do that. Hang on. Where should we do the... let's do this. Oh, back here. Okay. Add 800 foot per minute drop. Means we have to descend in 9 minutes. Okay. Wow, it has been a long time. Those of you who are new, go back and watch my archive of videos when I did everything smoothly like I knew what I was doing. This is ridiculous. Alrighty, so let's just do that. This, that, the other thing, vertical nav, that'll show us 30 miles, 10 minutes out. We want this up so we can descend. Oh boy, okay, big breath. Everything's fine. Fuel gauges are quite full. How's everybody doing back here? They're happy. They don't know what's going on up front. They don't know the struggle. They're just reading their books, listening to their audiobooks or something. Anyway, let's get some sightseeing done before we miss it all. 14 minutes in this flight already. Okay. All right. Nothing to do till top of descent. I'll see you then. Alright, it's time to send a target. I'm looking at mountains ahead of us. It looks like we do land in kind of a valley area, which I didn't notice the first time around, but we do. So let's see. We wanted to send to target. We want to go to, let's just do 1,800 feet. We'll be taking over long before then, I think. Then we descend by doing alt alert? I can't remember. No. I can't. How come I can't remember how to do it? We don't want to do MDA. That's minimum descent altitude, or minimum decision altitude. Descent decision. Minimum descent altitude based on decision height. That means even if autopilot is off, it'll turn autopilot at that, so you don't run into stuff. Instead, we are going to do IS hold. Is that in or out? In IS hold. So if I bring back throttles, it should hunt for that speed, that airspeed, and descend based on that, and then I would use throttles to decide how steeply we descend, right? Begin descent, came back up because I slowed down so much. That should speed back up and find that and hold us there. And then I use our throttles to determine how steeply we descend. It doesn't always work, but that's the theory. Okay, so now it should stop at 140 no matter how much I goose it. And let's see if it does. And then I'm putting in throttle so we don't descend so steeply. I want to descend at this 679 to stay on target. So if I give it some throttle, it should stay at 140. There we go. It's working. Hey, it's working. It just takes a while for, oh, maybe not. It just takes a while. It hunts around. It's slow to respond. But I think it is working. Okay, good. So let's bring back throttles now. Now it's going to hunt for it again. Yeah, we'll just let it settle in, and then I'll slowly increase throttles so I get about 600. Basically, this VSR is what we want. Except that's going to go back and forth too, because it's still trying to figure out what it wants to do. And then we'll use VSR once that settles in. Good grief. Okay, that's not my fault. That's not me. That's not my rustiness. That's just the way this airplane is responding. It's so slow to respond. Otherwise, approach, get the weather we already did. We have our runway chosen. GPS should take us right there. We'll take over manually when we need to. Landing lights on at 10K. I left them on the entire time. Approach at 100 knots. And then touchdown at 75. That's at 65. That's at 80. We'll approach at 100. Final approach at the blue line 80. Touchdown just above the red line. Let's do that. that doesn't line up with my checklist, but let's use these more often. After that Navian terrible landing because I didn't read my speed dial correctly, let's pay a little bit more attention to the little lines and things. So approach at 100, final approach at 80, let's do that, and then we'll touch down just above the red line. That's how it should work. It's a paved airport, so we don't have to worry about soft field or anything. Let's do a little bit more throttle. I don't really want to descend yet because look at our VSR is 612. So let's just keep it like that. And it's going to turn us because we are here. Alright. Since I don't have a plate, I don't know what we want for each altitude at each point. We're just going to have to wing it because I don't know. We're below the clouds though. So anyway, I had something else to say. I can't remember at all. But at least the GPS gave us an approach without doing it manually, because I want to start doing it with the GPS instead of manually if possible. And that worked. So according to this, the runway is directly ahead of us somewhere. Probably not rendered in yet. It's going to be whatever distance this is plus the other one. So if that's 4, that's probably like 15 miles out. I remember what I was going to say. We do have a crosswind. So crosswind is 70. Yeah, it's from the right. Holy cow, it's from the right. Strong one. Now, the simulator is going to make it seem like a hurricane from the right. So we're going to land at 20 degrees, but it's coming from 70. So it's from the right. So if I want to do a crosswind landing, we will right wing down, left rudder, firm touchdown with the right main down first, and then the left main, then the nose wheel. Do not want to grease it when it's a crosswind landing, especially when the sim is going to make it seem like a very strong crosswind. So we'll do the best we can to land this thing. Otherwise, our speed is good. Our descent rate, let's check that again. That's better. So we'll keep track of the VSR. So what I'm going to do is come down here and bring us down to like 700 feet per minute or so. Come on, slow to respond. This will hunt around over here. But otherwise, we're good. We're in control. We're good. I'm going to go back and forth between this screen and this screen. So, I guess I don't expect it to take over vertical navigation and land us like ILS would. But it might. I doubt it. We might get our glide slope on here like we did in that other aircraft a couple flights ago. If we do, I'll use it. But again, I don't expect to. They don't have my nav radio tuned to ILS or anything. But I just want to see what the GPS is going to do for us. So anyway, I want to keep an eye on a few things. I'm going to give you one quick blip of sightseeing, but then we have to stop the sightseeing because we learned that my approaches and landings go much better if we don't sightsee. Set course to 20. Let's just do that quickly. Course set to 20. Okie dokie. Quick blip of sightseeing, then I'll be right back to land this plane. Alright, runway's in sight, and we're way above glide slope. It just popped in as I got back from sightseeing, so we're going to kill autopilot and do this manually. Had I not been sightseeing, I would have seen that glide slope come in, and I could have made adjustments, but because of the sightseeing screwed us up. So no more sightseeing, let's just do this manually because it's way easier than fighting with the computer. So we're going to come down to glide slope, and we'll also use the left and right here as well. I assume that's engaged. And we'll just fly the plane the old-fashioned way. Yeah, GPS would have said to turn a little bit. Yep, it is working. Good. Okay, so let's line that up. We're almost on glide slope. Everything is good. We just need flaps Final approach at 100, so let's slow down to 100 now. Or not final approach. Approach at 100, so let's slow down to 100. So throttle's back so we descend. Pitch up so that we slow down. But there we go. Now let's level off. Because we're at glide slope. And our speed is... Oh, this wind. Holy moly, rock and rolly. Let's keep our speed up, though. We don't want to go below 100 yet, or it's just going to prolong the inevitable. Let's stop descending. Jesus, this airplane's so slow to respond. I am noticing a lot of flight dynamic changes in 11.36. I don't know if it's in my head because it's a new version, but I'm really noticing throttles are taking way longer to respond for the most part, and bringing back throttles a little bit does a lot. Where before bringing back throttles a little bit did a little bit. It could all be in my head. I haven't read the forums or anything about 11.36. I'm noticing a lot of challenges with 11.36, but that could just be me. It's been, a long time since I've flown, other than these past couple flights that I've done. Let's slow down again. Let's try to keep this under control. This is not going well in terms of smoothness and reality here. Oh my goodness. Let's keep our descent about 500. That we're doing well. My speed, though, I just cannot keep that speed under control. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's start slowing down a little bit. Let's do first set of flaps. Just to keep us in that arc. Well, the glide slope is good. So I'm doing something right. The computer, the gauge tells us we're to the left of the runway, but visually looks like to the right of the runway, so that's confusing there. Let's do a second set of flaps, get a little more throttle because we're going to float and slow down. Alrighty, I think we only need 2 sets of flaps for this really long runway. Alright, our glide slope is still pretty good. Could be better, but this plane is really responsive and bouncy. See how it's bouncing around. Let's keep our speed down. We also need to descend, so let's try to stay at that 80 mark now. This is going to be very difficult. Oh my gosh, I'm not even moving my yoke, and it's just going up and down and up and down and up and down. This is nuts. Alright, a little bit of throttle so we don't descend quite as much because we will catch up to the glide slope. Pitch to keep that 80. We're staying on the 80. So before we had the glide slope nailed and the speed was out of control. Now our speed is nailed and our glide slope is consistently out of control now. And come on, let's descend. Bring back the throttle. See, it took them so long to respawn that it's been like 10 seconds later, and then we stopped descending as much. Throttle's back to descend more. Okay, now that gauge is correct down there. So what I was seeing was inaccurate compared to the gauge. Alright, here we go. Our speed is okay. Let's not descend quite so steeply. Now we're catching up to the glide slope. Man, this thing's all over the place. It is very windy, though. Remember, the sim with some of these aircraft, as soon as it's like above 0 for wind, it's nuts. Yeah, it's going to drag us over. I was compensating for the wind and overcompensated. So this is going to be tough, but we got it. We got this. I already talked through the crosswind landing, but I'll talk through it again. Coming in steep, but we'll be okay. We're going to give ourselves some room to do the crosswind here. Nope, don't want to stall. Let's keep that speed up before we do our nice crosswind landing. Are you ready? Are you ready? Left rudder, right wing, down, firm touchdown, firm touchdown, firm touchdown, right main first. There it is, left main, nose wheels gently. That was awesome for a crosswind landing. We could use reversers, but we don't need to because we have a very long runway. I have almost full left rudder in. So how come I can do these complicated crosswind landings, but I can't do a stupid tiny GA super easy no wind landing? I don't get it. Happens to me all the time. Oh my gosh. Let's keep our speed down though. We're going way too fast to roll this out. Oh, this wind. I'm just fighting this wind still. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get somewhat of a brief exit here for the other aircraft that may be behind us, but if I go any faster, that wind just blows me over, so I gotta go slowly. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Look at that. Even at this slow speed, just look at this wind. Man, that's nuts. Alright, flight time about 35:20 or so. Let's get our taxi lights on and ready to go here. We'll keep the landing lights on because we're on the runway. What else do we need to do? Turn the cabin lights. Not quite yet. We'll wait till we're off the runway for that as well. Man, this wind is nuts. I want to go faster, but if I do, the wind just blows us all around. I can't control it. Alright, looks like our parking area is finally coming up. Right, somewhere. There it is, right up there. Okay, so let's come off here on Charlie. If we can, let's try to stay on that yellow line, if the wind will let us. Jeez Louise. Slow down a little bit. Bring back those props a little bit too. Whoa, here we go. Now, we can turn off those landing lights. And now we can turn on the light so people can see. And we're just going to head over here to the left, I think. Nope, that's not. That's just a taxiway. I was hoping that was parking. We're just going to park here by the jets, I guess. Maybe over there there's a GA, but we'll just come out. So we have the landing. No entry. Well, we're going to enter anyway. Okay, I guess we're going to go this way. No, and what does that say? No entry. What? So I guess it's a one-way. Alrighty, so I landed very long, but that's because I wanted to have a nice, good crosswind landing. So I took advantage of the long runway. So I'm not going to get upset with myself for landing long. That was intentional. And then my crosswind landing, I nailed it. Nailed it. If I can just do that. Actually, wrote out Bravo. If I can do that for all the other landings, no one have to talk about them ever again. Alright, let's get this thing parked. We're not going to use A1. There's somebody. Yeah, okay. A2 has somebody. Let's use Alpha 1. Just park right behind this guy. Oh, he's up and running. Oh, he's going to take out. Oh, we're going to get blasted. Whoops. Well, I have to blame ATC for that. Or ground control. They told us to park here. Hit the parking brake. He's going to get out of here soon enough. Alright, let's shut this thing down. Weird spot to shut down, but that's okay. Parking brake set. Taxi lights can come off. That's actually way up here. Way up there. Props to feather. GPS and all radios off. Let's turn that down. Turn that off, that off, that off, and that off. This doesn't turn off, I guess. Fuel boost cut off. Fuel boost and cut off. There we go. Anti-collision and position lights off. We can take that out. Let's keep the fast seatbelt on. Boom, turn that off. Do the GPU. GPU. There we go. Move this to external power. There we go. Close U. Generators off. Air bleed off. DC master off. And open all the doors. So pilot has to come out first. And then while the pilot is opening baggage doors, somebody else open these doors. And there you go. Welcome, folks, to Eswatini. Is that how you say it? I'm having a hard time pronouncing that word. Otherwise, Eswatini. Eswatini. Still kind of shaky on the video format. I'm still getting back into the swing of things. But my landing, I hope, makes up for it all. That was an awesome crosswind landing, especially when we have to deal with what the sim gives us. It can be kind of challenging and rough. So when I concentrate, it's fine. When I blab and don't concentrate, we have problems, like in the easy landings. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do another similar flight. There's some other small areas in Africa, like landlocked, tiny countries. I'm going to pick another one, do another flight like that, and then I might go forward with that 5 in a row, where I do each plane 5 times in a row to just really get to know it. But we'll see. See how I feel. If you have a subscriber request, please put it in the comments below, and I'll add it to my list. I had a whole bunch of subscriber requests at once, but haven't had any in a while. Longest flight time is around an hour, hour and a half. If it gets too long, then I don't have real life time to do it. Well, I hopefully enjoyed it. Not much else to say about this one, and I'll catch you next time.